The Kansas City Chiefs are unstoppable when they hit their stride. And today, we're diving into that along with three other exciting stories. If you're a fan of the Chiefs, be sure to like this video and hit that red subscribe button below for more updates. Our first story today is about a surprising new role for Travis Kelce as the Kansas City Chiefs gear up for the NFL season. Wide receiver is a position with some uncertainty for the Chiefs this year, but there's hope that a rookie could make a big impact right from the start. In a recent article by William Schwartz from Pro Football Network, he makes 5 bold predictions for the Chiefs this season. One of those predictions is that speedster Xavier Worthy could become the team's best receiver by the midpoint of the regular season. Schwartz believes that Worthy will fit seamlessly into the Chiefs' offense, taking on a role similar to the one Tyreek Hill once had. He's got the kind of pure speed that few players in the league can match, and unlike other speedsters, Worthy has shown that he's more than just fast. He's got the skills to back it up. With Marquez Valdes-Scantling likely out for Week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens due to a shoulder injury and questions surrounding Rashee Rice's potential suspension, Worthy could step up as a reliable target for Patrick Mahomes right out of the gate. His straight-line speed makes him a serious threat, and his solid route running skills have already impressed during training camp and preseason games. If Worthy rises to the occasion this season, the Chiefs might just find their next star receiver to take the reins once Travis Kelce eventually retires. Speaking of Kelce, the Chiefs have revealed that he might take on a surprising new responsibility this season: long snapping. The 34-year-old veteran, who has already appeared in the Chiefs' first 2 preseason games, is determined to keep his spot as Mahomes' go-to receiver. Special teams coordinator Dave Toub mentioned that Kelce could serve as the backup long snapper, calling him dynamite at the role. There's also been some concern about James Winchester, the Chiefs' usual long snapper, who suffered a shoulder injury against the Detroit Lions. Though he returned after halftime, he was replaced by tight end Noah Gray. However, the Chiefs have secured free agent Randon Plattner, who previously played with the Baltimore Ravens, possibly sparing Kelce from stepping into the role this regular season. As these developments unfold, Kelce and the Chiefs are laser-focused on making history by winning a 3rd consecutive NFL championship after their victory in Super Bowl LFN against the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas. With Patrick Mahomes leading the charge, the team is confident they can achieve this historic feat. Patriots coach Bill Belichick recently shared his thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs, pointing out a few areas where the team could improve. Speaking on the Pat McAfee Show, Belichick emphasized that while the Chiefs performed well in the playoffs, which is when it matters most, there are still some concerns, particularly on defense. "I think the bigger issues are going to be on defense," he said. "They played very well in the playoffs, but overall, as a team, I think they'll want to improve their run defense and reduce turnovers." Belichick also discussed the challenge of maintaining success, especially when aiming for a 3rd consecutive championship. This 3rd year, for it all to fall into place 3 years in a row, is tough, he noted, but added, "If anybody can do it, it's probably Kansas City, but it won't be easy." Despite a close loss to the Lions, who are potential Super Bowl contenders, Chiefs head coach Andy Reid remains optimistic. "I think you've seen the growth," Reid said. "We've added a lot in the last few days, and the guys have been able to absorb it and retain it. That's been a positive, and most importantly, getting back into football shape is crucial as we gear up for our first game." Reid acknowledged that there's still work to be done before the season begins, saying, "We still have a couple of weeks ahead of us before it all comes together. We're not ready yet, but we'll keep working and sharpening ourselves to play. I appreciate the attitude the guys have shown." In our second story, the Chiefs are expected to part ways with a fan-favorite wide receiver in favor of Kadarius Toney. According to Pete Sweeney from Arrowhead Pride, it seems Justin Ross didn't do enough this summer to secure a spot on the 53-man roster over Toney. In Sweeney's final roster projection for the 2024 preseason, he has 7 receivers making the regular season roster: Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Justin Ross, Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman, and Toney. Sweeney explains that although it could still go either way, Toney's current health and Andy Reid's belief in his potential give him an edge over Ross. On August 23rd, Sweeney wrote, "Toney's health seems to be holding up for now, and Andy Reid values his upside." He also mentioned that the presence of tight end Jody Fortson on the roster might reduce the chances for Ross, whom the Chiefs might try to bring back on the practice squad. Snap counts from the Chiefs' preseason finale also shed light on Ross's situation. The coaching staff hasn't officially announced which receivers will make the cut, but the preseason finale offers clues. 5 receivers didn't play in the final preseason game, suggesting they're likely to make the 53-man roster. Rice, Worthy, Valdez-Scantling, Watson, and more. Valdez-Scantling was sidelined due to injury, but his talent makes him a sure bet for the roster. Among the receivers who did play, Ross saw the most action with 27 offensive snaps, 3 more than Hardman, who is expected to make the team due to his familiarity with the system. It seems the coaching staff gave Ross extra opportunities to prove himself in the final preseason game, but he struggled to capitalize. Ross ended the game with 6 targets, 2 receptions, and 12 yards, and finished the preseason with 15 targets, 6 receptions, and 59 yards overall. Our third story focuses on Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker, who has a straightforward message for those who criticize him. Butker has faced significant backlash this summer after sharing culturally conservative views during his commencement speech at Benedictine College, a local Catholic university. Despite the criticism, the 3-time Super Bowl champion remains unfazed as the Chiefs' preseason campaign nears completion. Earlier this week, Butker took to social media to express his indifference to the criticism, writing, "You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something in your life." Although he mistakenly attributed the quote to Winston Churchill, it actually originated from Victor Hugo's 1845 work, Vilmain. Butker, who hails from Decatur, Georgia, stayed close to home for college and became the all-time points leader at Georgia Tech before joining the Chiefs. He spent 7 largely uncontroversial seasons with the team, but that changed earlier this summer after his commencement speech drew widespread attention. The most criticism came from his remarks about women's roles in the workforce. Speaking directly to the women in the audience, Butker said, "Congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. I want to speak to you briefly because I believe you, the women, have been told some of the most diabolical lies. Some of you may go on to lead successful careers, but I would venture to guess that most of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. My wife, Isabel, would be the first to say her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and mother." Butker's speech also touched on several other controversial topics, including skepticism about COVID-19, doubts about election integrity, and his beliefs about certain historical events. Raised Catholic, Butker rediscovered his faith later in life, crediting the sacrament of confession as a crucial part of his renewed belief. While his comments drew criticism from many in the football world, including a statement from the NFL clarifying that his views do not represent the league, Butker also gained numerous supporters. His jersey quickly became the most popular item on the NFL's team store. Inside the Chiefs' locker room, star tight end Travis Kelce acknowledged that while he personally disagrees with most of Butker's views, he still respects him on a personal level. "He's treated my family and anyone I've introduced to him with nothing but respect and kindness, and that's how he treats everyone," Kelce said. When it comes to his views and what he said at the commencement speech, those are his. "I can't say I agree with most of it, or really any of it, except for his love for his family and kids.